This is the brand new OnePlus Watch 2R, and it fills a void that I think is really important, and that is a under $200 smartwatch that performs like a top-tier flagship smartwatch. And this right here is really incredible because the OnePlus Watch 2, which came out several months ago, is a very popular watch. It really delivers a lot in typical OnePlus fashion, having a dual-chip architecture that gives you a really fast processor and a really efficient processor, and it decides when to use one or the other, which enables you to get a 100-hour battery life without really limiting much at all on the watch. You're getting fast charging, you're getting premium materials, you're getting a lot that was really good about that watch, which made it, in my opinion, one of the most recommendable watches for Android users. But this right here, the OnePlus Watch 2R, is a bit cheaper than the OnePlus Watch 2. So you might say, all right, what are they compromising? What are they cutting? Well, actually, basically nothing. You still have two chips in here, the same two chips. You have the same battery, the same display, the same software. Across the board, literally everything about this watch is the same, except it is 25% lighter. So you might say, all right, well, 25% lighter, is this made out of plastic? No, it's not. It's still a metal watch, but in case you haven't guessed by now, the main difference is going to be stainless steel versus aluminum. And you're saving a lot of money and a lot of weight by going with an aluminum watch. So what's the trade-off here? Well, aluminum is going to be a slightly softer metal, which means that if you ding this against something, you're rock climbing, it could take on more damage. It's more likely to get scratched or dinged up. However, I think most users are not going to be using it in any kind of extreme environment where they would be damaging it. The price is going to be the other difference. And I'll have a link down below. The MSRP on the Watch 2 is $300. The MSRP on this is $230. So about a $70 difference for essentially the same exact watch with a different material. Now, they are always on sale. So right now, it's actually the OnePlus Watch 2. I'm seeing it for $249, which is a pretty competitive price. And they actually are running a promotion with this at launch. It's going to be $199. And again, I'll have a link down below for that. So you're looking at about a $50 difference there when you actually account for the promotions, which is still significant. $199 for a flagship level watch. I think, like I said, it's really filling a void that we haven't seen in quite some time in the Android watch market. So if you have the OnePlus Watch 2, it's probably not worth it to upgrade to this one, even though it's newer, just because it's basically the same exact watch in a lighter body. If you don't already have the OnePlus Watch 2, I promise I'm still gonna go through a full proper review of this device here, just so you know everything about it, including accuracy testing, GPS, heart rate. I'll show you the interface. I'll show you everything you need to know about this device. But category 1, if you already know everything about the OnePlus Watch 2 and I just told you what you need to know about this, before you leave, I only ask that you please click the like button so other people can find this video and it can help them as well. Now, for those of you who stuck around, we're going to talk a lot about what this watch is, a proper review. I won't be talking about the OnePlus Watch 2 anymore, strictly about this watch right here. All right, so the OnePlus Watch 2R, the exact same dimensions as before, 47 millimeters, it's 12.1 millimeters thick. It comes in two different colors, forest green and gunmetal gray. Most of that color, as you can see, is in the strap, which is very easy to replace on the back using a standard 22 millimeter strap. So you just pull a little pin, it comes off. It's very easy to find a ton of these on Amazon in even multi-packs for like 10 bucks, super cheap. And it's 37 grams when you don't include the strap. So like I said, a very, very light watch. But getting back to the colors, forest green, gunmetal gray, aside from the strap, the only place you're really going to see that is around on the bezel. They have some little tick marks there, which I think do a pretty good job of masking the bezel. Other watches have a big black ring there. This, I think, looks pretty nice. In the middle, you have a 60 hertz, 1.43-inch AMOLED that goes up to 1,000 nits, which is really quite bright for a smartwatch. Seeing this outside really shouldn't be an issue, and it's a pretty good pixel density as well. Looking at 466 by 466 pixels, and all of that is under the sapphire crystal face here. So that should be fairly scratch resistant as well. I don't think that's really, that's pretty standard on a lot of watches, especially around this price point and above. On the right side, you'll see we have our two buttons. I'll get into what they do in an interface tour, but we also, you kind of see tucked in behind that is the microphone. And on the left side, we have a speaker there. So we'll get into a quick little microphone and speaker test. You can use this to answer phone calls or use Google Voice Assistant and different stuff like that.
All right, this is a speaker test. I'm on a phone call, and if you were to answer a call using your watch, or if you ever asked for directions from Google Assistant or something, the speaker sounds like this. And now this is a microphone test. So I'm calling from the watch to my Galaxy Z Fold 6. and you can let me know how this microphone sounds. Honestly, I think this will definitely get the job done for a phone call.
Looking at the back of this watch then, this unfortunately does not have wireless charging. That's one of my biggest complaints about the Watch 2 and here at the Watch 2R is that you can't charge it on the back of a phone or on any standard charger. It doesn't have Qi wireless charging. Instead, you have a little 4-pin magnetic charger that snaps on there, and you can see in the middle our heart rate, our biosensor array right here. This is going to be a series of LEDs that are used to measure your heart rate, for example. But let's actually get into a quick little test of the heart rate accuracy and the GPS accuracy. The GPS accuracy, starting off with that, should be significantly more accurate than many other watches on the market and more in line with the premium, more sport-focused watches because it does have dual-band GPS, which means it's going to excel specifically in tougher environments like in town, in a city, when there's tall buildings on either side, or if you're in a valley, if there's mountains around you. That is all going to be hopefully reflected in the accuracy of the GPS because it is dual-band here. From my testing, I found that it really did quite a good job. Taking a look at a heart rate graph here, I have an ECG heart rate strap from Polar. This is the H10, and I'm comparing that, of course, to this OnePlus Watch 2R. And I have to say, typically optical heart rate sensors on a watch do a reasonably good job on the steady state run, and this one certainly did that. But where I am most impressed here, and I'm honestly genuinely very, very, very impressed by this, is in the heart rate tracking during intervals. So you can see the spikes on the right half of this graph. I was running intervals. Typically, heart rate sensors on a watch completely fail on this and they lag a lot. This one kept up very, very well. So you can see there was only a very slight delay in the increase of heart rate tracked by the OnePlus Watch 2R compared to the Polar H10. And I think overall that is incredibly impressive. Now, I did have the watch on my right wrist reasonably tight as well. So as long as you put this watch on correctly, I think the accuracy should be pretty impressive. Getting into the interface, this is running Wear OS, but because it's OnePlus, they have their own features, their own software on here and stuff like that. So starting off the watch faces, you can see we have quite a few that OnePlus gave us. I like them. I think they all look really quite good. This one in particular really accents the outside. It kind of makes it look like it all blends together, almost like a natural analog watch. If we swipe down from the top, you have all of our quick settings, and OnePlus gave us a lot of quick settings here. You can connect your earbuds quickly if you're going for a run and you want to just have offline Spotify play. You can do that. As you know, a ton of other things as well. You can turn on Do Not Disturb, adjust the brightness, find your phone, use the wallet. By the way, NFC on this, if you use it, the NFC is going to work best on the top quarter of the watch. So kind of as you lean your wrist in, it's kind of where you'd naturally use it anyway. Swiping up from the bottom on the home screen, this is going to be your notifications. You can interact with all of them. This is Android, of course, so you have a full keyboard. You have the ability to, use emojis and whatever else you'd want. It works well. It's something we've seen time and time again on Android watches. Swiping from the left, you can see this is going to take you through a cycle of your different tiles, your widgets on here. And so you could swipe left or right. It's a loop. It goes through all of them. And you could open up any one as well. So in sleep, for example, if I tap on it, it'll take me into the sleep tracking app. And I can learn more about how much I slept, what the cycle was like, and different things like that. The buttons, however, you press the top button, that's your home button. Press it again, it brings you into the apps. Press and hold it, and that will open up Google Assistant. Double pressing it opens the most recent app that you had, and it'll toggle between several recent apps. And then the bottom button, this one's always going to go to workouts. So you have a nice little shortcut there. Press and hold it, it'll open up, I believe, Google Pay. Actually, no, that's your power menu. It's going to take you to the power menu. And if you double press it, that's Google Pay. I knew the bottom one was Google Pay for something. So yeah, that's essentially the interface. But with the latest version of Wear OS, they kind of changed the app setup. You don't need to have the Wear OS app and another app. Instead, you just get the app from the manufacturer. So you just get the OnePlus Health app, and that's where you can do everything with this watch. Look at your data, your analytics. You can change the watch faces, change the settings on the watch. Anything you'd want would all be done within that right there. So kind of summarizing this watch right here, it's not going to have the fringe features we saw on like the Pixel Watch 2 or the Galaxy watches. They have a ton of extra features. And by that, I mean, it doesn't have like ECG. You don't have body composition. You don't have any of those like real niche features. But I think the majority of people out there are probably getting this watch because they want to see the weather. They want to get notifications when their Uber's coming. They want to reply to text messages and take some phone calls on here. And maybe they want to track some workouts with reasonable accuracy as well. And this one checks all of those boxes at a lower cost and in a lighter body than the already very competitive OnePlus Watch 2. So the OnePlus Watch 2, in my book, is really going to be a strong recommendation for anybody looking to spend about $200 or less, and they want an Android smartwatch that's focused on the smart side more so than the health and fitness side. It still does health and fitness, it tracks your sleep and everything, but that's not the main focus of this watch. And I think maybe the closest competition for this is going to be the Galaxy Watch 7. I can make a comparison if you would like. Leave a comment and let me know down below. And since you enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing. I have many, many more watch videos coming out. Just a ton of stuff coming out this time of year. But yeah, I'll see you in those next videos.